The promise of a busy construction season from Mayor John Tory today, apparently the busiest ever. So what does that mean for your commute and trying to get to and from the city? Everywhere you turn, assuming you can actually make a turn, it's going to be crazy. And so we hit the roads today to try and figure out what you can expect later on. Construction projects in the city right now is what's happening at the 6 Points Interchange, or Spaghetti Junction, in Etobicoke. A number of roads closed off in different directions. A couple of months ago, they actually tore down a couple of major bridges. And so as a result, traffic backed up in all different directions. Very difficult to figure out where to go as an alternate route. One of the bigger projects this summer as well is going to be the Gardner Rehabilitation Project. This is phase number 1 between Jarvis and Cherry Street. It involves a number of things, including redecking that section, as well as the closure of a couple of on-ramps and off-ramps. As you're heading north on the Don Valley Parkway, look up. You're going to see a lot of work on bridges overhead at Don Mills Road, Spanbridge Road, Winford Drive, as well as Lawrence Avenue. If you're thinking about taking Don Mills Road as an alternate route north, you might want to think again. Eglinton Crosstown construction is slowing things up in the Eglinton area, and there's going to be that much more work once you get north to York Mills Road. Everywhere you turn in the city, there's going to be some sort of road resurfacing as well. It's bumpy in different parts, including here on York Mills between Leslie and Don Mills. It's all going to add up to 140 kilometers worth. Now, right now, we're in the middle of the annex on Bloor Street between Bathurst and Spadina, and guess what? There had been a pilot project for bike lanes here, as you can see, for some time. Now there's going to be water main replacements, more streetscaping, more bike lanes, and of course road resurfacing as well along this stretch as well. Later on in the program, we'll tell you more about what to expect, how you can get more information, and some of the warnings that go along with it. We've now been told to expect the busiest construction season ever. The city has announced this morning $1 billion worth of road construction work. That's bridges, roads, sewers, water mains, all of the above. And they announce it as though it's something that we can take pride in. Toronto officials are promising chaos on the roads this spring and summer. 63 projects, 24/7 work, and of course, committed to minimizing disruption to the public.
This is just work that has to be done, and we have a short construction year here relative to other more favorable climates, and it just has to get done. We're trying our best to coordinate it. Certainly on my watch, we have significantly increased the hours that we're spending doing this where it's possible to do so, and I think we're trying our best to make sure we coordinate it so that parallel roads, for example, are not all torn up at once, and I think that's as much as we can do.
140 kilometers of road paving, 200 kilometers of sewer and water main improvements. Construction on more than 600 roads across the city. The city's advice? Obey signs and plan your travel in advance and consider alternate routes, without offering suggestions for how best to reroute traffic. Not to mention all the private developments going on throughout the city as well. They're not the only ones.
Oh yeah, there's several disruptions. So for example, if you have major construction or new buildings being constructed in the city, then you would probably lose half the lane, all of the sidewalk and whatnot, and that is the reality of urban living.
It's now something to be expected in Toronto. Every year, more work to be done, each time greater than the last. Will it ever end?
No, it won't. I think with the aging of the city, you should be ready to expect it more frequently.
The city has actually put together an interactive map on the City of Toronto website to try and find out more about road restrictions and capital construction. Where I'm standing right now on Bloor between Bathurst and Spadina can be found there. If you're actually interested in looking into that much detail, you can also find it on the citynews.ca website as well.